I don't want to fearmonger, but before it's too late, I'll show you exactly how to make animated Faceless World Cup videos with AI step by step, and how to monetize those videos as best as possible. Now, the World Cup begins June 11 and ends all the way on the 19th of July, so we have about a month to take advantage of this. So you're not late yet, but the sooner you start, the better. I'm not going to explain why this is the first and probably the only World Cup of our lifetime when there will be so much money to be made. I explained that in my last video, so if you haven't watched that, I recommend watching it. But in this one, I'll just show you click by click exactly how to actually make those faceless YouTube videos for the World Cup. So let's start with step one. Now, just before we get into making videos, I want to be clear. We're going to be making very long form videos because shorts are a waste of time. Shorts pay way less per 1,000 views. I mean, the quality of that audience is very low, so you can never promote anything in your videos or build a long-term business. And there's no option for you to even promote anything in the description later because links are not allowed there. And advertisers know that the quality of audience that is just scrolling shorts on their toilet is much lower than the quality of audience who can sit down and watch a 20-minute long video in one sitting and have an attention span to even do that. And therefore, they spend a lot more money advertising in front of the second audience. And even a couple of people that do end up getting lucky and somehow go viral from shorts, they will need millions of views to just make a few $100. And it's going to be a one-time thing because shorts are almost impossible to build into a long-term business, while with a long-form channel, you have longevity and you can build a brand that then sells products and offers and continues to grow long after the World Cup ends, and you're just using the World Cup as a shortcut to growing faster now. And then the longer the videos are, the more mid-roll ads you can place. And as YouTube continues to compete with Netflix and traditional TV, they're doing their best to reward those of us making long-form videos. And with shorts, you can only have one ad here and there, and therefore they pay a lot less. But if you have a 20-minute long video and there's an ad every 30 seconds or every minute, there's like 20 to 40 times more ads, therefore 20 to 40 times more earnings. Okay, first you need to figure out what you're going to make videos about, and there's multiple ways to approach this. The first one is my strategy called niche quilting. So I invented this 1.5 years ago, where you take a proven format from one niche and you copy paste it into an adjacent one. In this case, we're going to do that with the World Cup. And I have a list of over 1,000 faceless channels making between $5,000 and $50,000 a month, and we can effectively apply whatever they're doing in their niches to the World Cup in this case. So here's an example. There was this cat channel called Falloon. Their angle was educational cat content, and then someone took that and turned the exact same title frameworks but to dogs. So he just replaced cats with dogs, and then someone did that with birds, and then someone did that with fish, etc. And you can even take that a step further and apply it to babies, for example, and then switch from white babies to black babies, and it still works. And I'll show you in a second how to apply this niche quilting strategy to the World Cup itself. And you can literally do this over and over again. So it's same demographics, same triggers, and this way you're not reinventing the wheel, which is not necessary, especially because this is very time sensitive. You don't want to test random ideas. And if you're wondering whether this works or not, these are videos that have exploded on channels that had 0 subscribers, and they got hundreds of thousands, in some cases millions of views on their first upload by applying niche quilting. Alright, now to make things easier for you, I spent the last few days building this entire free Notion document with all of the prompts you can copy and paste if you would like to follow along this tutorial. It is completely free inside of my free community. When you go to the classroom here, just click on AI Systems. That's where we have a bunch of free resources, but you can click on AI YouTube Systems, click on World Cup AI Animation, click here, and that's going to open up this Notion document. Now, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be niche quilting this dogs channel, cats channel, and this prehistoric channel for the World Cup and football. So I'm going to look at their title frameworks and I will apply them to the World Cup. And for this, I'm going to be using this prompt right here. So you can just copy the first prompt and then open up any AI model of your choice. I personally prefer Claude, but whatever works for you is completely fine. Then just take a screenshot of any successful channel that you're trying to niche quilt. And I recommend not copying exactly what channels I'm niche quilting in this tutorial, because if everyone does the same thing, then no one gets the views. But as I said earlier, there are literally thousands of channels that are successful in different niches, and you can apply their title frameworks to World Cup. So this is the part where you just have to be very creative. The rest of the process you can copy paste from me, like making those animations and editing those videos for free. All of that stuff is fine. But the first part, you have to create and come up with some unique ideas, but make sure that they are proven to get results even in separate niches. Like in my case, I'm taking these dogs and cats and dinosaurs and prehistoric humans and applying them to the modern World Cup in 2026. Now, Claude is going to give you some ideas, and most of them will be trash. They will not be applicable to the World Cup. For example, what did soccer players do all day before the World Cup existed is a dumb idea, but he niche quilted that from one of the channels that I have attached, and that's completely fine, but I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to go through these and pick something that works much better. So for example, I saw this one, the worst time to have ever been a goalkeeper, which was niche quilted from this video that got 6.8 million views, the worst time to have ever been a human. So out of 10 different ideas that it gave me, I can actually only choose 2 of them. 8 of them are trash. Alright, now in the era where everyone is generating scripts with ChatGPT, YouTube doesn't promote generic videos anymore. So in order for us to get views, we have to share something that's new, that's unique, that's obscure, that feels novel to the viewer, and therefore to the algorithm itself as well. So what I've done is I've created this prompt that we're going to use to research our subjects. You're going to copy this prompt, you're going to paste it alongside with the title that you chose earlier, and that's going to tell Claude or ChatGPT or any AI model that you're using to go and find obscure facts on this subject. It's going to find 10 different points that most people have not heard about before, because when we share something that is new, people A, pay attention more because it's not generic, but B, we get more views because the algorithm can instantly read our transcript now that we upload our videos. And if we're just sharing the same stuff as everyone else, the same things that people have already heard 1,000 times, there is no reason for the YouTube algorithm to promote us to a wider audience, so we're not going to get views. This is a very important step, and that's what these AI tools like Claude and ChatGPT are best for. They're best for research and general assistance. They were not built for YouTube, but specifically for researching subjects, they're very good. Alright, the very next step is writing a YouTube script that is not generic so we can actually get views. And there are 4 different ways to do this. The first option that is completely free is to just open up Google Docs and start writing the script yourself manually. This is obviously going to take a lot of time, but at least it is completely free and it's going to allow you to produce something that is unique. The second option is to use AI tools like ChatGPT and Claude, and there is nothing inherently wrong with this. What I don't like is that the scripts are pretty generic even if you prompt them hard, because these tools were not built for YouTube. They were built for mass appeal, and they don't have access to YouTube or YouTube strategies. They don't have the context of what actually works on YouTube. They don't have access to high-performing videos and high-performing structures and formulas and frameworks and hooks that work. So they're just spitting out whatever they think would be the best, no matter how much you prompt it. In most cases, it ends up being generic, though with a decent amount of prompting, you can get some okay-ish scripts for long-form videos. You can just look up for frameworks and formulas on YouTube and look up for frameworks that you can attach to that prompt, and then you can write the script for you. The third option is to just pay someone to write the script for you. If you go to Fiverr, you can find people doing that from anywhere from $50 to $100 per YouTube script. And as you can see, a 150 words script in this case is $67, which is quite expensive. And an actual long form video script is almost $200 to be written by this person. Others do it for $175 for 1,000 words, and then 2,000 words is $250. So it can get pretty expensive per video. So what I personally do is I use this AI tool, which is all-in-one operating system for one-person businesses, which also has the feature called YouTube Scriptwriter, which was trained on thousands of successful YouTube channels from different niches, and it has access to frameworks and hooks and formulas that have already performed well on other channels. So you can find it in the Content Studio on the left side. You can then click on YouTube Scriptwriter right over here, and then you can just describe what the video is all about, then paste your title in this box, and right here where it asks you for details, this is where you can get those 10 unique points from Claude. Again, Claude and ChatGPT are really best at doing research, and you can just copy the research that they've done for you, and you can add them into the text node here so that Solo starts using that in the video itself to share something that is new and obscure. So it's going to bake it into the script. You can also add PDFs and YouTube videos, so the more context that you give it, the more unique of a script it's going to give. So it's going to pull from different places, and it's going to write a very unique script. And then when it asks you for style of writing, this is really cool because you can go to any channel on YouTube, you can just copy a link address to their YouTube videos. I recommend their most popular videos, and you can just click here to add a YouTube link, paste it, and now it's going to model that style of writing. It's going to apply that to your video. And then when it asks you for your monetization goal, you just select how you would like to make money from this video. You can bump up the length. So for example, I'm going to go with a 10-minute video for this, and I'm just going to click generate script, and I'll let it do in probably 60 to 90 seconds. I'm going to get a full script done 1,000 times cheaper than to pay someone to write the script manually. And also it takes them quite a while to deliver it, like 4 days delivery versus 90 seconds. But again, if you don't want to spend money, you can either do it manually, or you can hard prompt these AI tools and try to get something out of it that is good. Now, once the script was written for you, it's going to be around 2,000 words in my case. You can expand it with one press of a button if you'd like it to be longer. If not, you can just copy everything and you're good to go. All right, next up is creating these AI animation visuals and editing our videos. And there's different ways to do this. The first option is to just do it manually by going over to ChatGPT, upload a reference style of animation that you like, and just say, I'm going to paste my YouTube video script, and you're going to create prompt for each of the sentences. So each sentence is going to be separate scene for each prompt. Make sure to add that it's going to be 16:9 aspect ratio, and it's going to be in that style of animation that you like. And make sure that it's not going to have any unrealistic sci-fi elements or whatever, and then just paste your script. Just say script, and then paste everything in this box, and then ChatGPT will give you each prompt that you can copy and paste manually into a tool like Gemini. So Gemini sometimes doesn't listen, so we'll have to do it again. You start a new chat right here, you select create an image, and then you just paste the prompt and you wait. The problem is you have to wait for each image to be generated, which takes about 90 seconds until you can go back and copy the next prompt, and then you have to wait and then submit it again, and then wait. And this entire process can actually take a couple of hours. Once you start getting these animations, you can download them here. They do have this watermark that you will have to remove. So what I do instead that is much faster and more efficient is I go to AI Visual Studio inside of solo.ai. There is this scene generator where you can paste your YouTube script in the box. On the right side, select the model, whether it's premium or standard. Premium obviously takes more credits, and you can just select how many scenes you want generated at once. You can go up to 150 scenes, select a style of animation you like, and that's it. Just click generate bulk scenes, and in about 90 seconds you're gonna get all of these different scenes that you can use in your video, and you can download everything with one press of a button right here. What's really good is that these images have no watermarks as well, and once you download them, they're named in order, so you don't have to figure out which scene goes where, but it just shows you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Now you just need to put everything together, and you can use any free video editing software of your choice. You can even use Canva to edit these videos. I personally use CapCut. I found it to be very simple, and they do have a completely free option as well. You can just start a project, click import, find the folder with all of these images, and click open. Now when you drag and drop them to the timeline, again, they're all gonna be in the right order. Now just before we start editing, we need one more thing, and that is someone reading our script. We need a voiceover, and there's 3 different options. You can either record a voiceover yourself, which is something that I actually do recommend, because you can just open up a free online voice recorder, click here, and start reading your script. It does take a little bit of time to do it manually, but your voice is unique, and in the age of AI, it's going to stand out quite a lot. And even if you have an accent, that's really good, and I highly recommend it. But if you don't want to record your own voice, there's another free option, and that is Google AI Studio. So YouTube really wants us to start using AI tools. So they have this thing called Google AI Studio where you can just write your script and it's going to create a voiceover. It's called text to speech, though it's obviously not the highest quality, and there's not many options in terms of different voices. So you're probably going to be having the same voice as almost everyone else, and it's not the highest quality. The third option is to go and hire a voiceover artist on Fiverr, and if you do that, even if you go with like the cheapest ones, let's go with this one, $10 for 200 words. Remember, our scripts are around 2,000 words, so that's around $91 per voiceover. It's not that bad, but it can quickly add up if you start posting more videos. So what I do instead is I just go to AI Voice Studio inside of Solo. I click on voiceover right over here, and there you can find over 9,500 different AI voiceovers that sound realistic, that sound like actual humans, and you can filter by gender, you can filter by age, and you can filter by language, and just find whichever one you like the most and paste your script in this box. When you get the script, just click generate. The voiceover is going to show up on the right hand side afterwards, and you just download it. All right, the very next step is optional, so you don't have to do it, but it's really going to elevate your videos if you do it, and that is to animate these images. And I say you don't have to do it because it takes a lot of time and it can be very expensive, but one of the ways to do it is to just go to the AI Video Studio on the left side inside of Solo, then click on Video Creator right over here, and there's going to be a bunch of native models built specifically inside of Solo, like Solo LX High-End. This is the best. This is one that I did use, but it costs quite a lot of credits. So there's some other more budget options as well that are available here, and you can play around with generation modes, and you can check out how many credits it's going to take out. But for example, when I chose this one, all I had to do is click on image to video and then upload an image, and then it just animates the scene for me. So here's an example. I just select an image here, and you have to put some prompts. So all I do is I just say slow zoom or slow pan, and then click generate, and then it looks something like this. To be fair, you can really only do this for the first couple of scenes to make the video a little bit more engaging, but bear in mind that it is going to use quite a bit of credits. All right, the next step is to put everything together. So you open up your video editing software, you import all the footage and the voiceover, you drag the voiceover to the timeline as well, and then you just have to listen to the voiceover and adjust the length of these scenes to match the voiceover. And ideally, you want to be switching these scenes faster in the beginning just to grab people's attention, but make sure they are fitting properly what the voiceover is saying. Now, if you'd like to add some slow zoom animation to some of these scenes, all you have to do is click on the beginning of the scene, select the scene, and then click here to add a keyframe to the scale inside of basic. And then at the end of this scene, you add another keyframe, and you can bump up the scale. And then if you go here, you'll see that it slowly zooms in. You can do the same thing for the next scene, and you can do that for a couple of them, again, to just keep it a little bit engaging. And then another thing you can do is you can add auto captions. So when you click here, auto captions, click generate, they're going to show up here automatically, but the default captions look kind of trash. So what I do is I select the templates here, and there's a bunch of them that you can choose from. I use this template because it shows one word at a time, though I make it slightly smaller because people usually complain if the captions are too big, but it really makes it engaging when there's like one word at a time showing up at the screen. Now, depending on your editing skills, this can take a couple of minutes to half an hour to an hour. Sometimes if you're really a complete beginner, it can take a couple of hours, but that's completely fine. We are building a business. This is not a get rich quick scheme. So this requires effort. It requires hard work. When you are done, you just have to click export, and you're going to export it in 4K format MP4, and just click export. Make sure the video is selected here. Audio not selected, though it is going to have audio. That just means that it's not going to export separately. So just export it in a video MP4. Next up, we're going to need a YouTube thumbnail, and for this, you can just go over to canva.com, which is a completely free tool, or they have a free trial that is also forever, and you can just click on create a blank new YouTube thumbnail. And to be fair, you can just upload this, one of the animated scenes, remove the background, adjust the size of it, and then for the text, I also like to copy from other niches. So for example, here we got a thumbnail that has 4.9 million views, and it says, "We can't explain." So it really opens the curiosity gap. It's like, what? We can't explain what? So what I can do is I can add something similar, obviously depending on what the video is about, and then I can also just add some elements like an arrow pointing towards the element, and then I can click share, click download, and download as a PNG file. Now, there is also a thumbnail maker feature inside of Solo where you can either create a thumbnail from a prompt that you insert in this box, or you can recreate thumbnails from YouTube. Now is the perfect time to do this because this new format of simplified animation is exploding across all niches. Like here is a channel that literally started 2 weeks ago. Their first upload has 600,000 views. Channel that at the time had 0 subscribers. It blew up in just 15 days of starting. Here's another YouTube channel that started 1 month ago. Their first video 700,000 views, and in the first 30 days of starting, they made $15,000 in ad revenue. Here's another one, Dave Explains. Here's another YouTube channel over here. It also started just 2 weeks ago. Here's another YouTube channel that actually started 1 month ago. Their third upload has 300,000 views to 250,000 views, and it's the same simple style of animation. Here's another Faceless channel that started 2 months ago and have 7 million views on this video already. They're doing 30 to 60K a month easily from this Faceless channel. Here's another one over here that also blew up with this simplified style of animation. So it works across niches, and we're now just adjusting this for the World Cup and the football niche. Now, another extra income stream is also affiliate marketing and promoting affiliate links. And if you're already inside of Solo and you're using it, there is a partner program right here that pays 2-tier affiliate commissions. So you get 10% every single month from a person that signs up using your link. And then if someone signs up using that person's link, you also get another 5%. So it's 2 tiers, and it's reoccurring for a lifetime. So you get basically passive income every single month into your account as an affiliate for this tool. All right, now let me answer a couple of your questions to remove the confusion. So first of all, can you use FIFA's official footage? Because now they have a partnership with YouTube, and in the blog post itself, it says that their content is now unlocked for us. Yes, but not everyone can use that footage. And personally, I wouldn't mess too much with their footage because there are some copyright laws. I only use scenes here and there. So it's not the whole video taken from them. It's only beats 5 to 7 seconds here and there. The rest of the video is completely unique to me. And we also fixed this problem of where do we even source the footage by just using our own AI animation format that's already proven to work across niches. It's proven to blow up. Now, can you still monetize AI though? And absolutely, yeah, you always will be able to. I mean, that's why YouTube is investing billions of dollars right now into building AI tools. They're launching AI tools almost every month for creators. I mean, they're baking Gemini into the YouTube studio itself, and all my channels that use AI are monetized. In fact, I started a channel 47 days ago that got monetized and made over $60,000 in ad revenue, and I've used pretty much all the AI tools that I've mentioned in this step-by-step tutorials. Also, same principles that you've learned today work on any other niche. You don't have to make World Cup and football videos. You can do this in any other niche. GTA 6 is around the corner. That could be a good one, but there's 1,000 different niches. And I told you, like, I have 1,000 channels on my list that are making money in categories you wouldn't even think of: gardening, fishing, cats, hamsters, like whatever. But just a disclaimer though, most of you doing this for the first time will not blow up. I didn't blow up with my first channel. I started my first Faceless channel back in 2015, and it was hella hard, especially because we didn't have these AI tools. But at least the skills that you acquire are the most valuable skills of this era. Researching, script writing, editing, creating visuals, niche quilting ideas, all of those can be spilled into other industries, or you can later just work for other creators and do those things for them and start charging them. I mean, you saw how much money people are charging for on Fiverr for some of these things that we'll learn today. Or you can just start other channels in other niches. Again, you're most likely not going to blow up the first time. I have channels that flop. Just like any other business, there is risk with this. But at least the deck is stacked in your favor, not only because YouTube's new AI algorithm is now pushing small channels and the World Cup is really trendy, and I even made this video showing a bunch of videos, a bunch of channels that started 30 days ago and blew up pretty fast, but mainly because what you learned today, you can monetize in like 20 different ways if you wish to. But again, this is not a get rich quick scheme. I know a lot of people call this YouTube automation, but to be fair, there's almost nothing that is fully automated here, and it shouldn't be. This is a business, it's a creative business. There's no ceiling to how much you can earn, and we should respect it. We should respect YouTube and just bring original content to the table, have fun, create something that provides value to your audience, enjoy making these videos, and perhaps you might be able to monetize them as well.